Oh. Is that Maria? Why is she running all the way over here? Are those gun soldiers? Oh no, they're gonna kill that kid.
Maria!
Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, bringing us another video. In this video today, we have a pretty big one to talk about because this has some major implications for the Sonic Movie 3. For the longest time now, we've been discussing what is Sonic Movie 3 going to be able to get away with, because this movie is going to be based off of, Sonic Adventure 2, and they're going to be focusing heavily on Shadow, and part of his backstory in the canon is that, a lot of his motivation of a character is based upon the death of his best friend, and it wasn't a very, subtle death. It was pretty dark. Yeah, Maria didn't just pass away, no, she got murked. Not just that, but with Shadow being a darker character and the story having the potential to be darker than the past two Sonic movies. Shadow also, having guns in the past, is that something they'd want to carry over into the movies? We're like, okay, the past two Sonic movies have been PG, will this one be PG-13 because of the potential of it being darker? Are they going to take that route? And for the longest time now, I've been saying no. You would be cutting off a major portion of your audience if you were to go into a PG-13 direction. That kind of limits the little kiddies that you're able to bring in. Not a crazy amount. Obviously some of the biggest movies in the world are PG-13. I mean, just look at the biggest movie of last year, Barbie, or the entire run of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I thought it would be limiting for Sonic. But we're back talking about it again today because we have some news coming out of Slovakia. I'm reading this right here from Sonic Movie Updates on Twitter. Shoutouts to them. They do a great job of covering all things Sonic movies. According to a Slovenian rating website, Sonic Movie 3 is rated 12+, which means movies that are suitable for 12 and older. And apparently the person who originally found this was at Smiler's Post, so shout out to them as well. And right here you can see the website below, and then if you read right here, movie name, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, original movie title, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. No slogan, the distributor is Cinemark SK, foreign distributor is Paramount, world premiere, they don't really have that. And over there will be premiering on the 26th of this year, but over here in America we get it on the 20th, so yeah, shout outs to us. Age accessibility though, from 12 years. And then, a bunch of other details that, we're not too concerned with right now. But that is big because if you guys didn't know, that would translate to a PG-13 rating over here in America. What do we think of this? What does this imply? Now let's get this right here off the bat. Well, this is on a reputable website and it does, state an actual rating. Let's not take this as 100% confirmation that Sonic Movie 3 is going to be PG-13. With any leak, it's always subject to either change or just maybe not be true. This could very well either be an error or maybe the movie is just going to be PG over in America and it's just not suitable for their audiences. But for now, let's treat this like the movie will be rated PG-13. What do I think about this? Well, obviously it has a lot of major implications, not only for the film itself, but also the discussion and conversation around the film and how it will do as a result of that. First of all, the kid's dying, if that's the case. They might not show her, literally getting her brains blown out with blood going everywhere, because that, or an R rating. But could it definitely show a more gruesome death than otherwise? I still think you'd be able to get away with the death of Maria in a PG movie. There's been death in PG and even G-rated movies in the past. It's just how you're able to work around that to make it, accessible to children and not completely traumatize them. I think they'd be able to accomplish a Maria death in a faithful way if they were to keep the movies PG. PG-13 though, they might want to push the envelope a bit. They might want to get into the nitty-gritty of things. They might want to show some things that you're not able to. They might want to be, let's be real, as faithful to the Shadow the Hedgehog character as possible. So that means that backstory of that girl getting murked. They might want to show Shadow being completely and utterly edgy, just so edgy, it's ridiculous. Shadow has carried guns in the past. That's unfortunately what a lot of his character is known for in his own video game. He rides around on a motorcycle. It's still a major part of his character. Even the newest Lego set to release features Shadow on a motorcycle. But when I say so faithful to Shadow, I mean they tap into as much of his character that has been put into media as possible, which includes the unnecessary and strong use of cursing. Now there's been cursing in the Sonic movies in the past, cursing, mind you, but maybe Shadow might want to throw out a couple dams. Maybe Shadow might even want to throw out a shit or 2. Sorry YouTube, I'm quoting Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm not like just cursing for the sake of it, I apologize. Shadow the Hedgehog, if you're going to put him in a movie, you know, the safest way to be faithful to that character, like entirely, even if it does, you know, hinder some things, it would be to make it PG-13. Not just that, but I think this would allow action sequences to be a little more brutal. This could lead to stuff like blood being drawn, which I don't know if I'd entirely like to see that in a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but that could be something that happens. Or maybe the fights just, you know, get even more brutal than they were in something like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or 2. Sonic, like, fake dies 2 times in Sonic movie 1, so imagine what they'd be able to get away with in this one. This opens the doors for a lot of possibilities inside of the movie itself, but specifically with the Shadow the Hedgehog character. This is the only reason I think this movie would be PG-13, but I want to stress again, this is not 100% confirmation that this is going to be the rating over here in America. Just a little hint and the possibility that it very well could according to other regions. But what would this do for the film? Now, I mentioned this very early on into the video, but I do think that this would maybe impact the box office a little bit. The Sonic movie franchise has been a movie franchise for families, so you're going to bring your kids to it primarily. They're the main demographic for these kind of movies. Look, I know the Sonic fan base is vast and wide and has many, you know, 30-year-old men. I'm not 30 though, I just want to stress that. But Sonic's primary demographic and the people who are going to see this movie are going to be families bringing their children to this film. And I'm not saying it's only that demographic. Obviously, there are going to be a lot of teenagers, a lot of adults who just casually want to go see the Sonic movie 3 because it looks cool. So there's the potential, if you have a PG-13 rating, that might turn away some audience members, like, okay, I can't bring my like 4-year-old to this, but maybe I could bring my 8-year-old to this. Believe it or not, this would impact the box office, especially if it includes the aspects of Shadow that, you know, we see, such as, you know, guns, cursing, extreme violence, a child getting murdered. I know common sense media would tear this movie apart. So I think that could impact box office, especially because we still do have a box office conversation around Sonic movie 3, believe it or not. Yes, we're past the days of Avatar 3 and Thunderbolts, but we do have Lion King, Mufasa, or whatever the movie's gonna be called, staring us right in the face, releasing on the same day, a new Disney movie based off of an incredibly popular film, in fact the most popular animated movie of all time, even if it shouldn't be. God, I hate that movie. I've been saying this for a while, one of those movies is going to move. They share too similar of a demographic to like stay on the same date and be successful. So whether that's Sonic or Lion King, but let's say they don't, I think Lion King would perform much better because that would be a PG or maybe even G movie. They're just able to bring any one of your kids to around Christmas time and you got the family together. And then Sonic movie 3 is PG-13, 2 steps up from a G rating, and that has a black and red hedgehog who's, you know, spouting curse words and toting guns and having their, you know, best friend get murdered in front of them. That would be a lot. Now, me as a Sonic fan, would I like to see that? Yeah, but would Paramount be okay with that? Would Paramount really be fine with seeing their, let's be real, biggest property right now when it comes to their movie front that is able to, you know, like keep going? They just lost Tom Cruise, by the way. Would they be fine with that? I don't think so. I think they want to keep, you know, their one children's movie franchise that is doing quite well for them right now, actually bringing in profits, keep that as profitable as possible. So I'm conflicted on it. Would I like to see Sonic movie 3 be rated PG-13? I'm honestly just incredibly indifferent. I think you'd be able to tell this story and be faithful to Shadow in a PG setting. And honestly, I'm still leaning that this is probably going to be a PG movie. And I'm not saying that it's not possible, that it's not going to happen. There is now a good shot, and we've already been talking about it before this happened, that this could be rated PG-13. I still, though, am in the camp that I think that this thing is going to be PG for those reasons I listed off. I think you could still accomplish the story that needs to be told, and I think you can make a whole lot more money if it's going to be PG, but don't rule out the possibility. Definitely keep an eye on this because, you know, this is a pretty big indicator that this is a significant possibility, at least much higher than it was. But yeah, it's gonna be a while, honestly, until we find out what this movie is going to be rated. Honestly, we probably won't know this until like a few months before the movie comes out, maybe like 1 or 2 months. We'll have some indicators on where this could be heading based off of trailers. You know, we might get like an idea of like, oh, this is getting pretty dark. So don't expect to find out the rating of this film anytime soon. It's going to be a while, at least over here in America, where it matters. But yeah, I thought this was just a really interesting discussion and a little piece of news that just popped up that I really wanted to discuss with you guys, because I've kind of been wanting to talk about the ratings of the Sonic movie 3 for a while and what could and couldn't be accomplished with a PG or PG-13 rating. But this is where I pass it off to you guys and ask what you think. What do you think about the potential of Sonic movie 3 being rated PG-13 based off the rating of the Sylvanian website? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links to my Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. You can follow those best things in my life. We try to end all things Sonic the Hedgehog, but most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. This is the #1 destination in YouTube for all things Sonic, whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more. We talk about it all. If you're watching this video the day this video comes out, tomorrow I'll be having a brand new review of Season 3 of Sonic Prime Up. So if you're not presently subscribed to the channel and you want the best place on YouTube to cover everything Sonic, make sure you really hit that subscribe button because we have some awesome stuff in the works. This year is really heating up. I could not be more excited, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Wah!
Wonder what you want right now, wonder what you want right now. Used to be about it, but used to be about it, Counting all my blessings and count my dollars.